Yo, what is up, guys? It is Toxic here, bringing you guys another video. And in this video, I'm going to be doing a little story. Well, it's not really a story. Well, I guess it's the story that's been retold many, many times. And, wow, we're losing by a lot. Okay, anyway. What I wanted to talk about today was, it has been 5 years of the grind of Call of Duty, of competitive Call of Duty already, because we had this old Google Docs thing where we would log how many hours we played in one of my old clans that I was in. And of course in Black Ops 1 not a lot of you knew me. Well, now a good amount of people know me. So anyway, of course, you know, I said black. Okay, anyway. When I first started, it was pretty interesting how I started. Okay, you know what? Let's tell the actual story. And man, this is my first game on and I'm like really tired. I stayed up to like 1 playing threes. So, excuse me. So anyway, we're gonna have to go into the lobby while we tell the story because I really can't edit videos very well. So anyway, while we're in the lobby, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to record while I'm in the pre-game lobby. So anyway, 5 years ago, I got my first PS3, and of course I had no idea. I had an idea of what Call of Duty was, and I played it a couple times at friends' houses, and I really got into it when I was over at those friends' houses, and I wanted to play even more. So my parents got me my first PS3. At the time, I was a little mad because I wanted an Xbox 360, but that's okay, a-okay. So anyway, what happened was I ended up getting my first PS3, and my parents got me Black Ops 1 for it. At the beginning, I played a lot of public match, and I was actually really, really good. And then, as time went on, I heard about the tournaments that were going on and how Optic Gaming was really dominant and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I wonder if I can do this. So, I got a couple friends together from my school who played PS3, and a couple random people through Facebook, in what we call Facebook at the time. So what ended up happening was I formed a team, and we called it Dusky Gaming, and I was a part of that for a little while. And throughout the end of Black Ops 1, we just played GBs and all that good stuff. And then came into Modern Warfare 3. It wasn't like the biggest competitive game, but I played a lot of S&D, and I joined a team called L7 with my friend Nate, Richie, and freaking Snipe Up. Because I've told this story numerous times. Snipe Up was a big fan of Snipe Down, but he didn't want to necessarily copy him, so that's what he did. Sorry. So what ended up happening was I, of course, made that team, and I thought we were really, really good. But at the time, I wasn't, and I was only good at search and destroy. And we struggled in our LAN events. And a little funny story, I remember I had my first real good controller. It was a custom controller. I don't even remember what brand it was from. It was some cheap one that I bought off freaking Amazon. This was back in Black Ops 3 anyway. So I went to a first local LAN in GameStop in Gahanna of Columbus. No, I said Gahanna of Columbus. Gahanna, Ohio. And I went there thinking, wow, I'm gonna get smacked up. But at the time, my teammates were good and they were experienced. So luckily, they kind of carried me to my victory, except for Search and Destroy. Search and Destroy was my thing, and it always has been, except for, you know, AW and, well, I guess AW was okay, but it's whatever. Anyway, so what ended up happening was I was, walking and I didn't see a wire, and of course, me being my idiot self, I didn't see the wire, and I ended up tripping, and my controller flew out of my hand, and I was like, where did my controller go? Well, it ended up hitting the back of a head of a kid who was playing the game at the current moment in time, and I felt so awful. I went and apologized to him, but he ended up losing that first map, but his team ended up winning the series anyway. I would have felt really bad if they would have lost the series because of that. And they hit him in the back of the head, and he actually started bleeding, and I really felt awful. But, mistakes happen, I guess. Either way, that was really bad. First LAN, but we ended up placing top 8 at that. Out of like 16 teams, so we literally won one round, and we were in the top 8, and we thought we were the coolest kids on earth. After that, we even freaking went to McDonald's and ate our hearts out. I still remember that day. Fun times. But anyway, so what ended up happening afterwards was, going into Modern Warfare 3, I was okay, but I wasn't fantastic or enough to be on any great rosters, unfortunately. And I was stuck on L7, and we weren't progressing very much, but we went to locals in Columbus all the time for fun and to compete, of course. And what we'd end up doing, I went to my first Modern Warfare. That was my first out of the 3 that I attended. No, the 2 I attended in Modern Warfare 3. And it was once again in Gahanna. And I struggled that event. And that was my worst event of all, like, personally speaking, like, personally playing of all time. And I still remember it to this day. And my team once again carried me through the respawns. And it was just not... It was a bad feeling knowing that I felt kind of useless. I'm just like, okay, well, I know I'm not going to do great this respawn, so I might as well just let my team take over. And which they did, and I'm thankful that they were good enough to, help me out through that time. But now I'm a pretty stable player. And man, my hands are freezing. Anyway. Then we went to Columbus, and I worked on my respawn game. I didn't just play S&Ds on GBs anymore. I ended up starting to play more respawns and practice, and that's when I really started to evolve into the player I am today. Excuse me. So what my practice did was it made the event even better. I still remember my mom was there for this. It was another GameStop event, but this one was a little bit bigger. It was in Columbus, Ohio. I was shaking in fear of who I had to play. Because, I always got beat by this one team, and they were Team Deluxe, and they would always beat me. No matter how many times I would try, they would always just beat me at the biggest event. And they, were locals, and they were very good. I don't even know if they play today anymore. But they were good at Modern Warfare 3, of course. So, what would end up happening? We placed top 4, and we beat them to get into the top 4, and I was so happy. After losing to them so many times, that's what made my drive to competitive Call of Duty what it is today. So, next, Black Ops 2 came out. Black Ops 2 was, at the beginning, I was shaky. I was still very good at S&D, but I didn't know what role I wanted to play. So I ended up going between AR Slayer and Anchor, SMG Slayer. But then I finally settled down as just a Slayer. I would use any gun that would get kills around my team, help for my team. So I was sort of like the scump of my team, but definitely not as good. I have mad respect for Scump. But anyway, that's besides the point. So, my one and only Black Ops 2 major event that I went to one open. It was the MLG Columbus Open and for Black Ops 2, and I was so excited because I was like, you know, maybe I could do good at this. In the first 2 rounds, I didn't have that hard of opponents. I probably had the weaker side of the bracket to play, and I was so hyped up. I was like, man, we can actually win this. Oh my goodness, this is light work. Not light work, but man, we're doing so well. And then we end up having to go through someone in the open that I didn't even really know, but they're professional players now. That'd be Philip Fizzer and his team. I don't necessarily remember the squad at this current moment in time that was on that team, but they were very talented, and I think they ended up placing like top 16 at the event, and I remember rooting for them. That's when I kind of had, you know, my being a fan of Fizzerp and all that kind of stuff, but we ended up losing to them, and I remember being so depressed after that, but I knew that if I just worked hard enough, I can get to the point where I can play against these better players. So, Black Ops 2, I just grinded out GBs, played a couple online tournaments, and that's when I first started playing wagers, and I started getting a little bit of money, not too much though. So then after that, I went through Ghost, which I never attended a LAN for that one. And we ended up, I just played a lot of S&D for that game because my Respawn game once again was inconsistent and my internet wasn't that great. So I really had nothing to look forward to as a team, and I still played Respawns, but mainly when I had my free time, I wasn't really practicing my Respawns. I was practicing at Search and Destroy, and I was a very good Search and Destroy player. So at the end of Ghost, AW came out. I went to one event for that, and that was the last GameStop event that they held in Gahanna, and they don't hold them anymore, which is sad. But what ended up happening was, wait, no, it wasn't Gahanna. It was, I don't even know where it was. It was somewhere. It was either in Ohio. Was it? Yeah. It was in Ohio, and we ended up not doing so well at that one. And I don't even remember our placing. I just remember we only won one round and we lost. So that's what happened. I've never won an event, guys, and I'm striving. But of course, I was really good at AW. Honestly, maybe not necessarily at the beginning, but towards like the early stage of it and mid and late of AW, I was really, really good, honestly. And I probably could have been at least semi-pro material if I would have had a chance. So what would end up happening was, of course, coming into this game, this is my 5th year of competing, which I'm thankful to even be here still. My parents have always supported me, and it's a great feeling that you have people that are related to you who are from a older generation but are willing to give you a chance. And that was a waste of gravity spikes. So going into Black Ops 3, had high expectations for my first LAN. And this will not be my only LAN. I'm going to be attending way more this year because I actually have a stable team to go with. And I know more people now. So what ended up happening was I went to NJ Rod. And it was not a very good event. I got first rounded, and I've never felt like that before. I've never felt like I've lost, but I've never felt like so useless before. And it hurt losing that first round in NJ Rod. And then I thought, okay, we can easily make a loser's bracket run. We can do this. And then losing the hard point when I drop 48 kills in the hard point and I try my hardest. And Tommy, Of course, Tommy, he's a great guy. A.K.A. Nighthawk. He did well at the event, too. He probably did better than me overall, but I played... He had all 3 of the maps that we played, because we only got to play 3 maps. He did well in all of them. And then I did well out of the 2 of the 3, except for the first hardpoint. That was the only time I really did bad. So... yeah, it was a struggle. And after that event, that made me drive more than anything to get better. And that's why I'm on the team I am now. And that's why I'm in indoor esports. And we're going to make a run at EGL. And we're going to practice our hardest. And we actually qualified for a online league. I'm not even for sure what the league was called. But we qualified. And man, I hate the Hive so much. So, thank you guys for all the support you've given me throughout my competitive career. Hope that you guys continue to support me as we are growing on YouTube and my social media. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. The little story time. Remember to leave, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Remember to follow me on Twitter is @indoor_toxic. Remember to have a great day, guys. Stay awesome, and I'll see you guys later.